State of the Union last night. God bless America. God bless Donald J. Trump. God bless August Pfluger and your family and all the work you do, Congressman. Your thoughts on what you saw last night, and in attendance must have been awesome.
Well, Craig, it's an honor to join you. I'm actually outside of the Capitol right now, about to go into a meeting with the Majority Leader, Steve Scalise, and just words can't describe, especially how that speech ended up last night. The feeling. I mean, you kind of walk through what he talked about. There's been so much that he has accomplished, and there was so much that he needed to accomplish. And let's just kind of remember the environment that he took over in January of 25 with a wide open border, tens of millions of illegal aliens who had poured in here, a fentanyl crisis, soaring inflation, an economy that was wrecked, a military that had been demoralized and degraded. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so, he kind of walks through. It was much less of a rally, and I would say I've heard Donald Trump speak so many times, and this speech was different. The feeling was different. When he talked about the things that he has done, the things that the Congress has done, like the One Big Beautiful Bill, the amount of money that's going to come back into people's pockets this tax season, reminding us of the facts of closing down the border and, really working hard to get the economy back on track. 53 record days on the Dow since he's taken office. I mean, it's amazing to just look back at the record. Now, in the beginning of the speech, Craig, the Democrats did not stand up. They didn't clap. They didn't stand up. He talking about the economy, talking about the border, and that was kind of expected. But here's what I want to say about the end of the speech, the middle to the end, and it was almost 2 hours, about an hour and 47. So I think maybe one of the longest, if not the longest, speeches in the history of the State of the Union. But when he brought out the veterans, and I'll specifically say when he brought out the Army helicopter chief warrant officer that flew the mission into Venezuela, that was shot multiple times through the leg, still landed that helicopter, that Chinook helicopter, in the compound where we were able to apprehend Nicolas Maduro. When he talked about him and he talked about his wife, and they were standing in the opposite corner from the First Lady, so we kind of looked around and we thought, where is he? And the president didn't say anything. He just kind of let us figure it out. We looked over in the back left corner, and there is this soldier who is out of the textbook of what it looks like to be a soldier, with perfect posture, standing up, and he talks about those accomplishments. And then he said, we have a surprise for you. We're going to give you the nation's highest award, which is the Congressional Medal of Honor, which was a huge surprise to all of us. There wasn't a dry eye in the Capitol. There was not a dry eye in that room. To see how much he cares about our veterans and about our country, the Democrats were on their feet clapping with smiles on their face. And then I will tell you, from that point on, the World War II veteran that received the 100-year-old man that received the Medal of Honor, and all of the accomplishments that he talked about, even things like some of the healthcare provisions that he has done to help bring down prices. Democrats were on their feet clapping. Of course Republicans were. I thought he ended this speech. I thought he rallied the country together and highlighted that after 250 years, we are stronger than ever. My daughter was in attendance. She is a tough critic. She's 18 years old, and she thought it was a great speech. So that's how I know that not only was the feeling right, but that he landed this airplane in a very, very positive way.
I love listening to Donald J. Trump, and I can only imagine what it must be like to be there in person to listen to this speech. It's emotional, obviously, and it's funny at times, and he gets after the Democrats for not standing at certain times. Him and Ilhan Omar had a little match going there, and the United States, USA, 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 drowning her out. I think most people just absolutely love that.
You know, it's true. He's calling them out for things like fraud to the tune of tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars in the Somali-held communities in Minnesota. Our country can get behind that. That's not a Democrat or a Republican thing. And he did call her out, and he did call him out correctly. Because you know what? Last year they didn't stand up for all of the fraud and the things that happened with violent criminals. So you bet he's calling it out. But he did something different this year. He ended on such a positive note that I think people see that, you know, he's a leader. He's moving our country in the right direction. You may not like the way he talks or tweets or does things like that, but he's moving the country in the right direction.
Donald J. Trump and August Pfluger is with us. Of course, State of the Union last night, Congressman Pfluger was there. And I guess 70 Democrats decided not to show up. And, you know, my response to that is, who cares? Big deal.
Well, we know that there's a lack of respect for institutions. They've tried to destroy every institution we've had for years. And we saw that on display last night. And it was disappointing. I mean, I sat through President Biden's State of the Unions. They were terrible. You know, we all remember those days, but I sat through because I respect the institution of our government. I respect the fact that we have a three-part government that co-equal branches, and no matter who's in the office, I'm going to show that respect from the great district that I represent.
Now, Donald Trump talked about tariffs could possibly come into play to replace income tax. Man, do I like that. What needs to happen there?
Well, this is obviously a new development after the Supreme Court ruling, but that's another aspect of, you know, even the Democrats who they couldn't stand for that, and I think he's got great ideas on how to lower prices, how to make life more affordable, how to get the economy really kicking, and so we're going to be watching this and working with him. I mean, I think his comment last night was, we don't need congressional action here. We've got it over here in the executive branch. So obviously very closely watching this situation.
7:15, Congressman August Pfluger, Colonel August Pfluger is on the radio with us and was at the State of the Union last night. And afterwards, do you all just kind of get together and hoorah a little bit, or what happens with you guys in Congress?
Well, you know, there's the president leaves, and obviously the security is very tight around this event, and but I had the chance to talk to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and a few others. And you know, first off, I told Secretary Hegseth thank you for recognizing the veterans that he did, to really go above and beyond and to make a big deal. And then I told Secretary Rubio, thank you for the work that you're doing around the world to reset the way that we interact with other countries, the respect level that we have. I just think he's doing a great job, and it was great to have a chance to talk to him, plus a few of the senators that were there. I was able to talk to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dan Raisin Kane, so a great opportunity to see a bunch of people. And by the way, General Kane has been to the district. He visited Goodfellow Air Force Base. I invited him to do so. And the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General Wilsbach, is going to visit here in just a couple of weeks.
I have a meeting, and if you have to run, just let me know, and we'll truncate the call here. But in the meantime, 59 degrees right now. Today it'll be 89 degrees. And, you know, Jake Tapper, I saw Jake Tapper say, even Jake Tapper says he's not sure what the Democratic message is on foreign policy.
Well, that's not shocking, because there is none. There's no message. I mean, there's no message on anything. I mean, their policy is really in a state of chaos because they let the radical side of their party take over. And whether it's foreign policy, whether it's healthcare, whether it's our economy or the military, or men playing women's sports, I mean, they're very confused. Y'all know this. I mean, I work hard to represent the great district of West Texas, the Permian Basin, the oil and gas production and agriculture. there are Democrats out there who have joined, and every bill I passed last year was bipartisan, but those Democrats' voices have been drowned out by radicalism. They have been drowned out by the far left. And until they police that up and clean it up, they will have no message. It will not resonate with America. And Jake Tapper's right. And I know Jake Tapper. I've been on his show before, and I've met him and had several talks with him. So it's good to see that he acknowledged that. I didn't hear that, but it's not surprising.
We are working to get some Democrats on the radio with us here in the morning. Not, if candidates want to call in, all that kind of stuff, that's fine. But we are working on getting some Democrats here in Midland County and Ector County on the air with us, and to try to be civil and all that kind of thing, but just to find out what makes it all tick. And I guess the bottom line is the liberal wing of the party is just taking them all over. How come they give in to them?
Well, when you let chaos ensue and you deconstruct the rule of law, then that's what you get. When you let the squad, a group of 5 radicals who have no assimilation to the form of government that our founders intended. When they say democracy is falling, what they mean is bureaucracy is falling. They don't mean elected officials. They mean all the people they have in place in the deep state swamp have fallen. And this is why it's so important right now. I can't urge people enough that are listening. Go vote. Go vote. Turnout is very high right now, especially for Democrats, but go vote. Have your voice heard. We can't sit back. And for those that listened to the State of the Union last night, I would just add the work is not done. And Donald Trump, he encouraged us on a number of different levels. I continue to work and to lead. We need to pass another big, beautiful bill this year. I am the architect of it. Mike Johnson has deputized me. In fact, the meeting that I'm going into with Steve Scalise, we will talk about this. But you have to go vote. You have to have your voice heard. You've got a couple of days left of early voting. And then the election is Tuesday, March 3rd. That's the primary election. So we have to have our voice heard. We cannot sit back. We cannot be complacent. I'm urging everyone to go vote.
And present your photo ID when you go vote here in Texas.
Oh, isn't that right, Craig? I mean, you should have heard the gallery last night when he talked about the Save America Act. I mean, how crazy is it that the Democrat National Convention requires you to present an ID to get into their convention, yet they can't even stand up and agree to the fact that you got to prove you're a citizen when you register and you have to show your ID when you go vote? I mean, this is just insane. Thankfully, Texas has very good election integrity laws. We're going to keep pressing this forward. This is the right thing to do, and 80+% of our country believes in it.
Not to mention, New York City had all that snow, and they were wanting people to help shovel snow. Got to be 19 and older to shovel snow, and you must prove a photo ID to apply for a job of shoveling snow. Shoveling snow.
Well, just goes to show you the level of hypocrisy. I mean, I'm standing right outside the Capitol. I'm looking at the Supreme Court right now. What an honor to be amongst these institutions. But these institutions wanted us as a self-governing people to make decisions that preserve the integrity of these institutions, that preserve the integrity of our system. And this is a moment where we do have to do that. I'm all for it. Again, about to walk into a meeting inside the Capitol where we're going to continue the important business that we have. There's more to be done. There's more work that we have to accomplish. And I'm very confident that we're going to do that. And I think at the next State of the Union, you're going to hear even more successes and even more triumphs of getting this country back on track and having that pride. I mean, we should all really take it in last night that the president, the 250th year of our country, we are stronger than ever. We do go through challenges. There have been bumps and hurdles, but we're going to overcome those. And I think there's going to be a time very soon where our country is going to come back together, where the political divisiveness is going to drop, and we're going to come back together as Americans.
Yeah, we can get fired up. Hey, we are asking all of our listeners, Congressman, just to, as we celebrate 250 years, asking our listeners why they love America. So we'll throw that question at you.
Well, I love America because of the opportunities that it gives every single person, no matter where you come from or what demographics might be defined. The media would use those demographics to define you. We can do anything we want here. I had a chance to meet the hockey team last night. I had a chance to meet Jack Hughes, and the great team, Hellebeck, the goalie. It was absolutely amazing. They put their gold medal on me, and I said, thank you for saying a message that was way more powerful than just about a sport or about an Olympic gold medal. Thank you for loving our country. What an honor it was. That was the highlight for me and my daughter, was being able to meet that hockey team and tell them thank you personally. But it's that kind of opportunity that makes me love this country so much.
Congressman, thanks for your time. We appreciate that. We'll let you get to your meeting. You got to go to work here, and thanks much. We appreciate it. God bless you and yours.
Craig, thank you so much. God bless this great country that we live in. It's an honor to represent this district. Don't forget to go vote and have your voice heard. God bless.